Your dog may not be staying close because it loves you more than everyone else. What if the real reason is far more unsettling? Most people believe a dog that refuses to leave their side during hard times is showing pure loyalty. But science suggests something unexpected. Your emotional pain may actually change your dog's behavior in ways neither of you fully understand. And one study found dogs react to human distress faster than many owners realize. Picture this: you lose your job, you go through a breakup, you spend days feeling anxious, exhausted, or emotionally drained. Suddenly, your dog follows you everywhere: bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, every step. Most people see this and think, my dog knows I need support. But what if your dog is responding to something else entirely? A 2018 study led by researcher Emily Sanford from Johns Hopkins University found that dogs living with highly stressed owners showed measurable signs of stress themselves. In simple terms, stress can spread from human to dog. Researchers sometimes call this emotional contagion. Your dog may not just be comforting you, your dog may be absorbing you. And that changes the entire story. Many owners imagine their dog as a calm, emotional anchor, but during difficult periods, the opposite can happen. The dog becomes hyper alert, hyper vigilant, constantly monitoring your behavior, watching, waiting, trying to predict what comes next. Your emotions become your dog's environment. Think about that for a second. If you suddenly become quieter, more anxious, less predictable, your dog notices. Dogs evolved alongside humans for thousands of years. Their survival depended on reading us accurately. When your emotional state changes, their role changes too. So when they refuse to leave your side, it may not always be reassurance. Sometimes it's surveillance. And another famous experiment revealed just how closely dogs monitor human emotions. In 2015, researchers led by Biagio D'Aniello at the University of Naples found that dogs use human emotional cues when deciding how to respond to situations. When humans displayed fear or happiness, dogs adjusted their behavior accordingly. They weren't ignoring human emotions. They were actively studying them, which raises an uncomfortable question. If your dog spends all day tracking your emotional state, how much pressure is that creating for the dog? Because the next finding flips the loyalty story upside down. Many dogs that become unusually attached during hard times may actually be experiencing anxiety themselves. That doesn't mean they don't love you. It means love and stress can exist together. Imagine living with someone who suddenly starts acting differently every day. Sometimes withdrawn, sometimes crying, sometimes angry, sometimes silent. You would pay attention too. Dogs do exactly that, except they have fewer tools to understand what's happening. Instead, they stay close, not necessarily because they've solved your problem, because they're trying to make sense of it. And sometimes the behavior becomes self-reinforcing. Here's how. You're having a terrible day. Your dog follows you. You pet the dog because the companionship feels comforting. The dog receives attention. The dog follows even more. You provide more attention. A cycle develops. Before long, the dog has learned that staying physically attached produces emotional rewards. There's nothing wrong with that, but it means the behavior may be more complex than simple devotion. This becomes especially interesting when we look at separation anxiety. Researchers at the University of Lincoln, including Daniel Mills and colleagues, have spent years studying attachment-related behaviors in dogs. Their work suggests some dogs form extremely strong emotional dependencies on specific humans. To an outside observer, that dependency can look identical to extraordinary loyalty, but the motivations may be completely different. One is confidence, the other is insecurity, and from the outside, they can look exactly the same. So how can you tell the difference? Ask yourself this: when you leave the room, does your dog relax eventually, or does the dog become distressed? Does your dog choose to be near you or seem unable to function without you? Those are very different situations. One reflects healthy attachment, the other may indicate anxiety. But here's the darkest possibility most owners never consider. What if your dog knows you're struggling before you do? It sounds dramatic, yet research continues to show dogs detect subtle changes humans often miss. Changes in posture, movement speed, voice tone, facial tension, daily routines, even scent. Studies from researchers including Alexandra Horowitz at Barnard College have highlighted how dogs gather enormous amounts of information through observation and smell. Humans often think emotions are hidden. For dogs, they're usually not. Your dog may notice small changes days before you consciously recognize them, which means that clingy behavior sometimes appears before a person fully acknowledges their own emotional decline. That's why some owners describe their dog becoming unusually attached right before major life events. A stressful career period, a divorce, burnout, grief. The dog responds to signals that are already present, signals the owner hasn't connected yet. And that creates a strange paradox. People think their dog is reacting to the crisis. Sometimes the dog may be reacting to the build-up before the crisis. Your dog often sees the storm before you do. Now, here's the part that rarely gets discussed. Constant closeness isn't always healthy for either of you. If a dog becomes responsible for monitoring your emotional state every moment, that's a heavy burden. And if you become dependent on that constant presence, the relationship can become unbalanced. Healthy attachment allows space. Healthy attachment allows confidence. Healthy attachment allows independence. The strongest human-dog bonds aren't built on desperation, they're built on security. So when your dog refuses to leave your side during hard times, what are you actually seeing? Love, empathy, stress, anxiety, learned behavior? The uncomfortable truth is that it may be all of them at once. That's what makes dogs so fascinating. Human emotions don't affect them in one simple way. They create layers of responses, some beautiful, some complicated, some surprisingly dark. And after hearing all this, the original question becomes harder to answer than ever. Is your dog protecting you? Or is your dog protecting itself from uncertainty? Maybe both. Maybe that's the secret most people miss. The deepest bonds aren't always formed because everything is okay. Sometimes they're formed because two living beings are navigating uncertainty together. Before we finish, if you enjoy evidence-based dog psychology and want more surprising insights like this, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Paw Theory, because some of the most fascinating truths about dogs are the ones that challenge what we thought we already knew. And now I'm curious, has your dog ever become unusually attached during one of the hardest periods of your life? And looking back, do you think it was loyalty, anxiety, or something in between?